Now, Mayor Olivia Chow's first budget has been approved by City Council, $17 million. The mayor joins us now to talk about what this budget means for the city in 2024.
Mayor Chow, good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us. Before we get into the budget, though, let's just quickly circle back to what we're seeing happening right now live outside the U.S. consulate. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators saying they're going to plan a sit-in all day today, calling once again for a ceasefire. This, of course, though, follows the incident that happened on Monday evening outside Mount Sinai Hospital along, University Avenue there as well. What do you say not only about the protests you're seeing today, but more about kind of what we saw on Monday night? Do you have any concerns they may move from here? What is your response to what's happening right now along University?
Well, people in Canada have every right to protest, demonstrate. They are in public space and they could do so. No problem with that. In terms of if they're actually blocking a hospital, that's different. There's different version. They said they haven't been blocking the hospital. They were just walking through. That's totally fine too, as long as people can access the hospital. No problem there.
Okay. And Mayor Chow, let's turn to the budget now. Of course, the several big items with police funding, windrow snow removal, but of course that 9.5% property tax increase, which is historic, biggest one in 25 years. Some councillors like Brad Bradford are saying, you know what, it's just making Toronto very expensive for people who can't afford to pay. But you're saying that for certain renters, at least half of them, or people who cannot afford to pay, there is something called a tax deferral program or tax cancellation. How exactly does that work? Do you need to apply to this and show how much money you make? Like, how do people start, applying for this?
All of that, yeah.
Okay.
So it's 80 cents extra per day, less than $1. And if folks can't afford it, let's say you're senior, fixed income, you can go to City Hall, call 311. Not very complicated. When you get the text, people say, oh, I can't afford this. Call 311, check if you qualified. We have a tax cancellation program, tax deferral program. All of those things are really important to support people that can't afford it. But 1 out of 2 Torontonians are renters. We lowered the multi-residential rate to 3.5%, which means that they wouldn't have to pay extra in terms of their rent.
Meaning the landlord cannot say, oh, my property tax is up, so I'm going to put that on you.
They cannot legally do so and go to apply for a rent increase because it's below the threshold.
Right.
Got you. Mayor Chow, also curious about how you and the police or how the police budget came to be the full budget that the police were asking for. We understand there was some sort of conversation between yourself and the chief. How did you get there? Because that was really a point of contention over the last several weeks.
That's right. I didn't want to go and cut services to find the $12 million. I did not want to raise tax any more than what we had. So, and I didn't want to go borrow money because, hey, immigrant kid, you pay your way, right? In the past, we just kept borrowing or emptying out the reserves. Interest rate is high these days. I'm not going to get more into debt. I inherited a big budget deficit of $1.8 billion. I have to fix it, right? I have to get the city back on track, which is exactly what we did. But about a week and a half ago, the federal government announced that there is extra money, $121 million, from the federal to the provincial government in Ontario. And I thought, let me talk to the public safety minister, Dominic LeBlanc, and he said, yeah, funds are coming. And the provincial government said, yes, we understand your need. We have a big city. We have a lot of auto theft. There have all types of unique challenges, opportunities. So with that assurance, promising discussion, I thought, okay, we'll put some money by the reserve funds, provide it for the police, replenish it when we get the funds from other levels of government.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mayor, there's some advocates that are saying, that money going to the police could have been spent elsewhere for other kind of community safety programs. Just some people not quite on board with the police getting all that full $20 million when they have a $1.2 billion net kind of budget for them. Is there going to be any accountability to check on police response time calls throughout the year as we move forward, as they make use of this money?
Yes, part of the budget conversation was we passed a motion asking the chief to give us a multi-year staffing plan and goals and timetables as to how they're going to do and when they're going to reduce the response time, because right now it's very high, and how many officers will be on the front line, and that a neighborhood officer. For those that are worried, we are increasing more money into drop-in centers because a snowstorm is coming. If you're homeless, it's tough. So we're increasing drop-in centers, shelters, and warming centers so people can get inside and get a laundry, get a meal, get back on their feet. We are building a lot of affordable housing. We're continuing to fund TTC, improving the service. You notice on King Street, we have all these traffic agents out there,
Yeah.
3 times faster now if you take the King Street
that's
car.
good.
Yeah, 3 times faster. We're doing potholes and filling them,
Yeah.
not taking them.
Not taking them, yeah.
I know.
Mayor Chow, though, we realize this is an historic, 9.5% increase in the property tax rate. The budget chief, Shelley Carroll, was there earlier this morning saying she thinks this is kind of like ripping off the Band-Aid, and her goal is to sort of bring the property tax increases, perhaps more in line, more affordable, because Torontonians are definitely paying a lot now. How are you going to try to manage that over the next couple of years? Because the line seems to be this is, a beginning of trying to maintain or improve Toronto, but it can't just be a one-year fix, can it?
No. When I talk about stronger together, it was demonstrated yesterday when all the councillors came together and said, okay, to make the budget better, we're adding money for arts, for watering trees, because we can plant them. If they don't water them, they die. All of those common sense things we've added together. The working together also means that federal, provincial, city officials work together, and then we can then turn the corner, get the city back on track, and create better affordability and a safer city and more caring city, which is really our goal.
Yeah, they say, you got to eat that frog, and it looks like you ate a big one with this budget, Mayor Chow. So thanks so much for joining us this morning to break it down further and speak with us about it. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you this morning. Thank you very much.